You're listening to the Albany Made podcast, produced by Albany Public Library. I'm Stephanie Simon. Today we're talking about a new twist on a traditional library program, Storytime. Just about every day in every public library across the land, preschoolers, along with their parents or babysitters, gather for Storytime. Once they get the wiggles out, they sit, crisscross applesauce please, on colorful carpet squares decorated with letters of the alphabet. Then it's time to listen to engaging stories, join in for sing-alongs, and do an art activity that is just the right amount of messy. Storytimes are how librarians introduce vocabulary, rhymes, patterns, and phrases to kids before they're ready to read. At Albany Public Library, we like to say that we're growing readers.
If you're happy and you know it, say yes, queen, yes, queen. If you're happy and you know it, say yes, queen, yes, queen. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, say yes, queen, yes, queen. If you're happy.
On a recent sunny Saturday morning, we hosted a special story time, Drag Queen Story Hour. The program had all the hallmarks of a regular story time. Picture book stories read out loud, sing-alongs with clapping and cheering. But this story time came with an extra lesson, one of acceptance, kindness, and diversity in the form of a fabulous drag queen. Noelle Diamond was our guide for the morning. She was a glorious sight to behold, mermaid blue hair down to her waist, a white and pink sequined top and shiny white skirt with an iridescent sheen, glittery silver boots with 6-inch platform heels, electric blue eyebrows, and luxurious fake eyelashes. Lilac lipstick framed a welcoming smile. One Storytime mom, Elise Melchiati, and her 4-year-old daughter, Aria, described Diamond's unique look.
She kind of looked like a unicorn a little bit, huh?
Yeah, she does. You're right.
Drag Queen Story Hour is much like a traditional story time. The performer alternates between reading books to the kids and singing songs with them. Diamond read Just Add Glitter, a book by Angela DiTerlizzi that encourages imagination and creativity.
So we're going to read a story. I know that I like glitter. Who here likes glitter? Okay, so this one is called Just Add Glitter. Bored, ignored, or feeling down? Need some fancy in your town? Want some shine upon your crown? Just add glitter!
Diamond also read Not All Princesses Dress in Pink by Jane Yolen, an affirming book that celebrates princesses of all kinds.
Not all princesses dress in pink. Some play in bright red socks that stink.
And Diamond sang songs with the kids. We apologize in advance if the next song gets stuck in your head, but it's the one that this Storytime crowd enjoyed the most. Joanna Gleason, who attended the Storytime with her 1- and 3-year-old daughters and husband, found Drag Queen Story Hour to be perfect for her kids.
I am raising 2 girls. They're 3 and 1, and I just want them to be exposed to all different kinds of communities. I think it's wonderful.
How did you think of the performance? How did you think about Noelle?
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
It was like I have small children, so our attention span is only 20 minutes, 30 minutes, so it's perfect.
And Melchiati, who brought her preschooler, found it to be a great way to introduce age-appropriate concepts of inclusion and acceptance.
And I felt it was a good way to introduce my daughter to inclusion early, in terms of all the different kinds of people that are in the world and how important it is to accept all of them, especially with the choice of books that they pick. I feel like it's very good and representative of anything that, you could probably teach a kid that you would want them to learn at this age, and in a way that they can digest it and resonates with them.
Now that you've heard a bit of Noelle Diamond's Drag Queen Story Hour performance, it's time to hear from John McDonald, who created and portrays the character. We met for a chat just a few days after the story time. McDonald, a Capital Region native, was animated and talkative. He wore glasses, shorts, and a t-shirt, average height and build, just a typical guy in his mid-20s, which is a long way from Noelle Diamond. McDonald explained how he got to his drag alter ego.
So I, growing up, was always very interested in musical theater. I did it all through high school, and then in college, I was actually producing my own shows when I was there, and it was such a great outlet to be able to, I was writing and directing shows.
Oh, wow.
It was very intense, but it was a lot of fun, and it was such a great experience, and I learned so much from it, leadership skill-wise, and also just,
creativity and like putting together a production. When I found drag, I was like, this is such a great way for me to just like channel all of my energy into, because there's so much to learn and there's so much to do with it, and that's what I love so much about it, because there's like hair, there's makeup, there's choreography. I make my own outfits now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've
That's
learned how to
awesome.
do so much stuff from it.
Drag Queen Story Hour is a newer part of his performance schedule. He did his first one last year right here at Albany Public Library and has continued on since then. McDonald spends hours preparing for a drag performance. He designs and sews costumes, tests out makeup concepts, develops choreography and songs, applies makeup, wigs, and fingernails, and does whatever actory magic it takes to turn into Noelle.
I don't know, it's a very rewarding experience, because like growing up, I feel like I would have benefited at that age from going to an event like that. And so when I go and I can see children there that remind me of myself when I was that age, that's really awesome. So it's fun to do just for my own, like I just enjoy doing it, but then also I enjoy doing it because I know that like some of these children are really benefiting from it.
Helping children is the main purpose of Drag Queen Story Hour, a national nonprofit organization. The group says these programs are important because they help children, quote, develop empathy, learn about gender diversity and difference, and tap into their own creativity. The organization also says Drag Queen Story Hour can, quote, be life-changing and ultimately life-saving for LGBTQ kids and teens, kids with LGBTQ parents or family members, and anyone who feels different because of their identity or interests, or who may not otherwise see themselves reflected in the broader culture. McDonald sees this play out in real life and sometimes hears from parents whose kids have been positively impacted by Drag Queen Story Hour.
I sort of get the impression that it's probably a mixture of parents who feel like their children don't necessarily fit in with their gender norms of how they should be behaving according to society. So they're bringing them there to learn about gender fluidity and that sort of thing and expressions. And then the other half is parents that just want their children to experience it so that they can be more accepting. So it's really cool to be able to hear these parents that are supporting their children and how they want to express themselves, and then bringing them to this event to support that further.
Drag Queen Story Hour can be controversial, but in Albany, the response from patrons and community members has largely been positive. The parents we spoke to support the library hosting these types of programs. Melchiotti echoed others' sentiments when she said,
I feel like with taxpayer dollars, all sorts of people are paying into those tax dollars, and I feel like they need representation in all spaces. The world's not meant to easily digest things into two boxes. There's definitely people that fall into the neither category, like the story today, and then they all pay taxes and they all should be represented in all of our public spaces, as well as accepted and welcomed.
Albany Public Library is committed to educating, entertaining, and empowering our community. That means the whole community, regardless of gender identity, race, age, citizenship, finances, nationality, and any other qualifier that makes us seem separate or different. Our librarians work really hard to present information, material, and programs that reflect our entire community. And events like Drag Queen Story Hour are just one of the ways we do that. We think Noelle Diamond said it best at the end of her Storytime performance.
If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, 2 or 3. Yes, Queen! Good job, everybody!
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Albany Made podcast. You can learn more about the library online at albanypubliclibrary.org, and you can follow us on social media using the handle AlbanyNY Library. You can follow the fabulous Noelle Diamond on social media. Her handle is, I'm going to spell it out for you, NOELLE.DIAMOND. And you can learn more about Drag Queen Story Hour, the organization, online at dragqueenstoryhour.org.